Therapy Army, let's be having you, Therapy Army. Let's be having you. Let's be having you. It's been a while, Therapy Army. It's been a while. The weather out here in Manchester stinks. It absolutely is terrible. It feels like bloody, at the end of February. That's what it feels like. March, early March. That's what it feels like. But big up Tariq. Big up to every one of you. Love and light to all of you. Big up Musa. Musa's about to join here. Big up to you, King. And big up to every one of you locked in right now. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're shadow banned. We are, people want to shut us up, but, we shout for Palestine. We shout for Sudan. We shout for the Congo. We shout for Tigray region. We shout for Ogaden region. We shout for every region, people. So big up to all of you. Please, hit that subscribe button. Make history. Maybe it'll be this stream that we make 10K. We're a protest channel. We don't, in this channel, we don't clickbait people. We talk about the issues, the real issues, the substantive things that matter, anything concerning Manchester United and what's going on in the world. But love and light, people. Musa, talk to me, brother. How are you? How's LA? Are you having nice weather up there in London?
Yeah, London's not too bad. It was just raining crazily a minute ago, and now it's stopped. The sun's back out. It's just playing up as it does. I can't believe the way it was raining, and we're here in June. But UK weather's madness.
There we go. Big up to everybody. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. Musa, talk to me. Let's talk about Manchester United. So first of all, let's talk about, obviously, the Euros is coming up. We've seen it before. We've got the T-shirt. We've got the popcorn. England had a little friendly against Iceland. Iceland came and sat back against England, caught England on the counter, scored 1 goal. And the next day, and all over the newspapers, is Saka's face. And then there is somebody writing an article saying that Kobe Mainoo was... Kobe Mainoo positioning made Rice play worse than he did. But let's talk about it. We all know the face fits, innit? The face fits. We only know certain things. Sometimes the face doesn't fit, yeah? Sometimes the face fits. So we've known about British media and their racism. We've known about who they are. And Saka, who's played 25 minutes, and a 19-year-old boy become the scapegoat for England stuff. Knowing that, the game before you go to a tournament, most of us are seasoned football watchers. Yeah. We always know players hardly ever go in when they've got a big tournament coming up. That game is almost kind of, they're not doing it. They're not going in hard because they know you get injured. You're out of the squad. You're out. Yes. You're out. So we know that already. But there you go. People are out here, literally making it blatant as they can.
Blatant,
what's
bro.
Going on.
Now we're writing mid-articles.
I think it's always going to be like that. I think like a lot of the fan base who haven't had the opportunity to visit Old Trafford or to visit a football stadium. So football's a global game, and there's a lot of the fan base is worldwide. So you got United fans all over the world, and I feel like when we talk about, if we can use the term ethnic minority. Yes. When we talk about the ethnic groups that support Manchester United, or the non-Europeans, I could say, I think that the perception of Manchester United is or just football in general, but I'm going to use our club as an example, and as someone who supported Man United since a young kid, is that you just tend to think that because you come across in your day-to-day surroundings a lot of Man United supporters who are African, Asian, Arab, whatever background it may be, you come across a lot of fans who have, who support the team that you do, who are also ethnically rich and diverse from different backgrounds. So you just tend to believe in your head that that's what it is. But for me personally, whenever I go to a football stadium, it reminds me how white the game still is. And I feel like we should never forget that. And I think a lot of the time, this comes out through our media who only say and do what they write because of the people that read their newspapers. if the people that read their newspapers and the people that put money in their pocket by buying these newspapers and signing up onto their websites didn't appreciate these views and values, they wouldn't write them because they're gearing up to their fan base, I should say. It's just like when you've got a YouTuber or anyone who delivers a message a certain way, that's because his fan base agrees with him and they move like that. So this is just a reminder that they like to paint the pictures that it's the minority or it's the few that think like this. Or it's no. If it was the minority, then why are national newspapers writing stories that fit a demographic of people who buy these papers? So these things are clear. So I think, one should never kind of get it twisted and think that, the game's changed and there isn't a high level of racism because it is. But at the same time as well, it shouldn't make you feel like, right, every white person you look around is racist, because that's not the case either. But there's just still a high level of racism within the game. And growing up how I grew up, we were just all mandem, white brothers, black brothers, Asian brothers, this brothers. It doesn't matter. We mandem or mandem in it, and we rolled together, we grew together. But sadly, as a country and as a species, racism is just here and it's not going nowhere. But it's sad when a national newspaper can print it and sell a load of paper. When a national paper does that, and it's national and it's selling papers at a high level, it's not like they done that. Let me give an example.
Yeah,
those papers that they printed with Saka on it, if everyone refused to buy it the next morning, they would have changed the print by afternoon. They would have said, what's going on? No one's picking up these papers, but people pick it up, and people are just used to seeing it. They don't even question it because they just think, oh, it's just another England player. Oh, that's not racist because they lost. Oh, no, they don't really mean it like that. Oh, no, they don't mean, how it goes.
Especially the time now, sorry to cut you off, where you go into these areas as well, and you see in these videos where they say, oh, man, England isn't England anymore, man. You know what I mean? It's not British anymore. At a time when you see Nigel Farage talking about immigration the way he is, and you see the amount of black England players that are playing now for England, Consort, Eze, Ivan Toney, you know what I mean? Who else is there? Curtis, what's his name? Who else? There's a couple of players anyway. Kyle Walker. There's so many black players now play for England more than ever now. Yeah. There was the Mexican Rate. You know what I mean? So it can help aid the clicks on what we're trying to do. So this is why I believe, for me, like, these articles are doing this on purpose. They know it gets clicks. They know it get retweets. The Saka one for me was crazy though, man. Every article had Saka's face on it. And the guy played 20 minutes, was it? 20 minutes, bro. 20 minutes, bro. But yet they shows his face on there. But we should have known, man. It's happened to Raheem Sterling. It's happened to a lot of these footballers, man. You get me? Remember what happened to Phil Foden and Greenwood? Remember Foden and Greenwood both went to that hotel and they had a situation with that girl, remember, Nuruddin? And then guess what? It was only Greenwood's name that got brought up, not Foden.
They sneaked them into the hotel.
Yeah. And it was only Greenwood. It was only Greenwood, the one that they were saying. So I don't know. I just think for me, man, like, we know what they are. This is why for me, I would never want to join any kind of mainstream media, you know what I mean? Whatever they want to call them, because I just think for me, like, they don't represent us, man. Like, we shouldn't be looking at these news articles and be like, yo, man, like, they're a huge embodiment of today's society. They're not, man. They're not. You know what I'm saying? They don't represent us, man. Do you know what I mean? This is why we have our own pages. We have our own, you know what I mean, events. We have our own situation where we can show the culture. You don't have to go to these events. So I just feel like, for me, it's a sad time we're living in, man, that people are using in, like, for me, we're giving play ratings 20 minutes into the game, Nordin. Bro, 20 minutes. And then that prick, what's his name? Jacob Steinberg. Oh, my God. Don't get me started on him. Do you see what he tried to do? How he tried to justify what he was saying? Oh, my God. Seriously, man.
You got dragged. Hold tight, all the big United fans. One thing about the United fans, when United fans come together and get united, they did a proper job on him. Absolutely got slated. Big up, Tom. Tom, welcome to the stream. International man of mystery. 00 Tom. He's there. He's there. He's everywhere. But is he at the Seven Hills or is he somewhere abroad?
Yeah, what are you saying?
That's the question.
Big up, lads. No, we're in the 7 Hills for now.
Hey, come on.
I'm actually coming over near Manchester way tomorrow. I'm going to Lee tomorrow.
To where?
So go and see Lee. Lee in between Leeds and Liverpool.
Oh, Lee.
Liverpool and Manchester. Sorry, yeah.
Like
Lee,
area,
where the women's team play, Lee Sports
Yeah.
Village. But I'm going to Lee to visit a friend over there that way.
Big up, Tom.
Yeah, big up.
By the way, people, I'm eating because I'm trying this new thing out where I have to eat a certain time. That's why I've got
time of the day.
I've only got this hour. Yeah.
Big up. Eat, man. It's calm.
Yeah, big up to everybody.
Yeah, smash the likes, man. Smash the likes.
Yo, Tom, we're talking about the racism from the British media.
Yeah.
That in a friendly that means nothing, where players are not trying really hard because they're all scared to get injured before the tournament.
Yeah.
Where Saka was only been on the pitch for 25 minutes. And then Kobe Mainoo, who's 19 years old, is getting blamed for the performance of Declan Rice. That's what Jake Steinberg did. He blamed Rice's performance on Kobe Mainoo and blamed him for the goal. So we're talking about this blatant racism. They're not hiding it. So we all know if England fail at this tournament, the blame lies. And Saeed and Musa were giving it a bigger context.
Yeah.
We live in a time where the Tory party are now almost talking like fascists. And then you got Nigel back in the game where, that people are now saying, oh, the protests that are against the genocide are evidence that people, brown and black people in this country have not integrated. I mean, what an absolute load of bullshit. By the way, majority of the population in this country are white. A majority of people in the protests are white. But the way they want to remix it is to remix it in a different way. So the climate and the fact that Saka photo was across all over social media, where he only came on for 25 minutes. And we know that towards the end of the season, he's been nursing an injury with Arsenal's running to the league, right? So we've known this. So we're seeing it, and it's blatant, and we're calling it out.
Simple. We're calling it out. You know what I mean? But yeah, go ahead, Tom.
No, it is. Listen, this blow up that happened with Jacob Steinberg, where it's like a deflection almost for Declan Rice's performance in the game. Funnily enough, the guy's a Chelsea journalist, and when Declan Rice used to be a young player, according to form from what I know anyway, Jacob Steinberg and Declan Rice's father are very pally-pally. They go back a long way. So there is a personal relationship between one of the England players that he put a lot of praise on, and I think he's put a massive amount of praise on for many years. Jesus, I think he was the main journalist that campaigned for Declan Rice to go back to Chelsea when he was at West Ham, and there was those links for him to go back there. He was one of the main players that campaigned for it for years, but it never happened. But the narrative that, come against Kobe Mainoo, listen, we've seen this narrative been spun by, one of their own Manchester United correspondents. We've heard it from fucking Samuel Luckhurst. We're hearing it from Jacob Steinberg.
Yeah.
Listen, as much as people want to say it, they've all got skeletons in the closet. They do. Like, I mean, you even saw the United fucking fan base. They fucking dragged tweets and Facebook posts from like 20 years ago back on the guy.
Yeah.
It was honestly, it's crazy. How technology can work in your favour in his case, and then it can work against you when people aren't fucking happy with what you're saying. But at the end of the day, with how the criticism that Kobe Mainoo got, listen, he's a kid. Fuck's sake, he's a kid at the end of the day. He's playing in a team of players who are like 28, 29 around it. The only player who I think can really relate to him with like a bit of a breakout is probably Jude. But Jude had 4 years already playing like high level in football. That's the only one that I can really think that he can maybe grab to on a similar level to say, well, I'm sort of the same age. We're kind of in the same sort of circle in terms of like where we are in our, say, careers. We're both at big football clubs. We're starting consistently. At the end of the day, Kobe Mainoo is a brilliant player. But if you're going to fucking slam him in the media and everything, I don't want him to play for England then. Don't fucking play him. I've seen 3 kids. I saw 3 kids, and they were kids at the time, guys, 2 years ago. 3 kids took 3 penalties in a Euros final, and then none of those 3 players have ever been the same since after the racial fucking abuse that they got in that game. Rashford, Sancho, and Saka. None of them 3 players have ever been the same. They've not. Rashford, fair enough, he had one blow-up season. It's completely disappeared now. It's disappeared. You don't even think about that season anymore. That's just like a highlight. Now what do we call this? A blip? It's not a blip. At the end of the day, the narrative that people want to, the media want to put out there about players, due to the race or religion and everything, it's fucking disgraceful. But we live in a society, like Nuruddin's already said, we live in a society where people think this is okay and it's justified. It's not fucking justified. Listen, there's been a war about race and everything for decades on decades. I know all this constituency that people say about that. We're going to tackle racism in football. You'll never end race.
Kick it out.
The one thing that I will say, as much as people want to get on this bandwagon to say that racism will end, it will always live within football. You can campaign against it, but it's always going to live there. That's the problem. And the media portray that because so long as they print it, they are allowed to print out the bullshit and the shit that they put out there about people, like such as Kobe Mino, they'll get away with it.
Yeah.
They'll get away with it. And how many people have read that article, guys, or probably seen those quotes or comments that he made about him? How many people do you think have fucking read that? He's printed all over the world, worldwide. But at the end of the day, it's a fucking narrative against him. And like I say, if you're gonna slander the kid, because that's all he is a kid, you can fucking bog down on Declan Rice. He's been with the England squad for about 3-4 years now. He's been in and around that camp. The kid's been here 5 minutes. 5 minutes he's been in that camp. He probably didn't even know half of the players apart from the ones that play at Man United. And in that England system, there's very few that have actually even gone. Luke Shaw, I think, is the only one that I can name off the top of my head that's gone with that squad. That's it. There's no fucker else that he knows there, really. So he's got a milk relationship. He's got to build things. And you're slamming the kid before he's even got a chance properly. But the one thing that I'll say, anyways, my last point anyway, he's had one bad game. He wasn't brilliant in the game, I'll be honest with you. But we've seen this at Man United. He's had some, under par performances, but he bounces back from them. But he's to slam him in the way that they have.
Who was good for England?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Listen,
nobody
was good. Nobody. And this is what.
Bro.
Listen, we've said this narrative about England before, and I'll say it again. They burn. Gareth Southgate has had a golden generation for the past 4 fucking years.
Exactly.
Two major tournaments, the World Cup that he had, and then the Euros. I'll argue more for he should have won.
Yeah,
but he didn't. The fucking Qatar World Cup was a catastrophe. You play against France in that game against France. France win. I don't think they were special. They were there for the taking, guys, in that tournament. Fucking Morocco gave them a better game than England did in the semi-final. And that's a team that a lot of people didn't even think were going to qualify for the World Cup. Never mind get that far. But like I said, the fucking media slander that they give players and everything is disgraceful. But I don't think you should judge it based upon race, religion, creed, whatever. Just base it upon what you see as a footballer, not what you see as the fucking colour of the skin or anything. But like I said, with these motivations that they put out to say that we're going to end racism in football, it will always live in football. That's the problem. Society is fucking built the way that it's not going to get rid of it. So you can ban people from football stadiums for 4 years for racial abuse. They'll come back in 4 years. What difference does it make? Have an injustice to say that you're never going to step into a fucking Premier League stadium again. That's an injustice to it. Track these fucking trolls down on the internet. It can be done. You hear it all the time when you have, people posting, players' DMs and stuff about death threats and everything. But please fucking track these people down. You can track people down on fucking Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. It can be done. But there's an injustice because they don't want to fucking do it. That's the problem. But I hope for Kobe Mano's sake, I hope some of the strong leadership players in the England camp, like some Harry Kane and stuff, put an arm around the kid and actually say, listen, fuck all of them. Fuck what they think about you. We know you're a top player and you're one of us. And that's what you need to fucking to do in an England camp when you go into a major tournament. Don't fucking let your players get slandered off. And I hope Gareth Southgate comes out and fucking says something in the next press conference and says, you're not going to slander my fucking lads. That's what you want. You want somebody who's a leader.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
It's going to be very interesting. They've already gone there.
Yeah.
But big up, people. Listen, we are 120 short of 10K people. Smash a like on the video. There's over 300 of you here. And we'll move to our next topic. But yeah, the racism, we've been here. We bought the t-shirt, and like Tom said, it'd be very difficult to eradicate. I wanted to talk about Tuchel a little bit. We covered it a bit.
What should you call it? Twerk and Tuchel. Twerk.
That twerker, mate. He's a dancer, but he doesn't dance for money. He's a dancer that doesn't dance for money, mate. He's the private dancer in it for Manchester United FC.
Private dancer.
He's a private dancer, but he don't dance for no money, mate. He was giving it out for free, and all of a sudden he's like, just to explain, we talked about it on the Straight Jacket podcast. It was 280. What's that?
86, I think it was.
86. Big up. Make sure people go and check out me, Musa, Muna got into it. It was quite heated, actually, the debate. We found out a little bit about Saeed, but you know, I mean, you'll have to watch it. You'll have to tune into that to know what we found out. But big up. Just to say that I knew already that his agency is quite Palio's already in there with Romano. So Romano, I broke it down and explained that Romano is the type of guy who's got all these agents, and it's got all these people, agencies who are contacting him to put in news out there to change the narratives.
Yeah.
And the idea that he's like, he's met the Ineos lot in Monaco, and then he's like, I wanted to. No, he was like, I want to get back into football and I want to get back to Premier League. And all of a sudden it's like, I want to take a break. The narrative shifted. I already posted a video about what he's been doing. So the point is that it makes the Tuchel situation makes Manchester United look bad, because it makes Manchester United look bad because the thing that is scrapping at this late hour. If you were already getting rid of Erik ten Hag, that you're scrambling for a manager. How much of it is that, and how much of it is that he wants to be in the news and to be linked with the? Let's not forget, people. Manchester United take up a large chunk of the space in terms of news of football club.
Yes, big, by the way.
Go ahead.
So, no, it's true, man. I think for me, like I said, yesterday was quite funny because it just showed you everybody fighting for that news, innit? Fabrizio Romano definitely got one or two info from Tuchel's camp. I said, yo, dead that news right now. Because the Times came out, and the Daily Mail, I think, came out, didn't they? Mike Keegan. They came out swiftly. And then, wallahi, I don't think it was even 10, 15 minutes after Fabrizio Romano comes out and says, yo, dead that ain't happening. Tuchel is not having the deal and he ain't coming. So you could just see everybody was agitated. Everybody was anxious. Things didn't want to be leaked out. Things didn't want to be put out in the press. You know what I'm saying? And that's natural. But ultimately, United is a big, big spot for sensationalism. It is. There's a lot of big spots for sensationalist argument, and ultimately it ain't gonna happen. So, I think for me, I get it. Musa frustrated. Everybody's frustrated, but right now, we just don't know what's going on. We really, really don't know what's going on. Yeah, I mean,
those journals, see them other journals though. They must hate Fabrizio.
Yeah, they hate. Of course they do, because you know what it is though. He's quite good, You know how good Fabrizio is, yeah. And I'm not hating on him, innit? Like he could do what he wants to do. Kirkus, yeah. There's the left back we're following. He's following his dad. He's actually one step ahead. I seen it on Twitter. Kirkus, his dad, is being followed by Fabrizio Romano, so he's ready to message his dad and say, "Yo, Wagwan, man, let us know some info." So Fabrizio Romano is one step at the curve, and that's what he is. He's always one step ahead. And these journalists are thinking, this guy, bro, where does he come from? He was at Sky Italia just as a random reporter, and now he's this kind of, mogul.
And even like you said yesterday, he didn't even give them 15 minutes to bask in the sun. He didn't even give them 15 minutes to bask in the sun before he just came and shut it.
He did it on purpose. You know why? This is dog eat dog, man. He don't want the Times to be the leading experts on football. And I bet you right now, them journalists don't like Fabrizio Romano. They hate the living daylight of him. They hate him like mad.
They weren't even marinated yet. They were just getting the news out, warming up. Bro, and he just shut it all down.
They don't even collaborate, bro. I've not seen David, honestly, the man collaborate, yo. You know what I mean, and do something together. They don't do nothing together.
Listen,
Yeah,
I think
man.
they respect each other though.
Yeah, they respect each other. But I'm just saying, like, it's dog eat dog though. It's the
if he didn't shut it down, yeah, how he did, they would have rewrote the same article so many ways yesterday about Tuchel. The amount of ways they would have just kept on. They spoke about this, they spoke about that. He said he could do this, he said he can do that. He's gonna revive Sancho, he can revive now. He could, bruv, they were gonna spin it and have us hooked for a couple hours. And he just came and said, none of that. It's all shut down. He's not going anywhere. And then everything changed. Then it all started coming out with different type of news. So yeah, it's a madness, man.
How pleased are you, Musa? How pleased are you that Tuchel's out of the picture?
Yeah, no, I'm happy, like, to be honest, man, because I keep on saying it, like, I'm onto Eric Ten Hag, but I'm also onto the process of who we're bringing in and how important the next manager is. I think bringing in someone like Tuchel just is kind of repeating where we've been before, bringing in a big name and someone who we know is more of a manager than a coach. I think he has more about managing than just coaching. He's going to want to bring in a certain type of player. He's going to want to say so on the type of player that comes in. I didn't want the new football instructor at the club to end up, at loggerheads with someone like Tuchel, who also is not shy to come out in the media and speak with his chest. He's not scared of a club. He's not scared of the beast of that Man United is in terms of how big we are as a club. He's been there at different levels and he will speak his mind. And I just feel like I didn't want to run into that again. And I always feel like, for me, Eric Ten Hag will sack himself, whether it's they find a replacement now or we're 10 games into the season and everyone just says, oh my Lord, this is not going any different to what we saw last season. He will sack himself. So I don't want us to rush into something like a Tuchel just because he's a big name and he's available. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy for that.
Tom, are you happy that Tuchel's took himself out of the picture?
Listen, I couldn't give a fuck about Tuchel. I couldn't give a fuck about half. I couldn't give a fuck about half of them, to be honest with you. Ineos, as much as they've had this big hype and everything, they've not delivered really fuck all for a while. If we're being completely honest with you, this Dan Ashworth thing is taking way too fucking long. We're taking people to court. That's how fucking bad we must be in trying to get him out of there. That we're having to go legal process to try and get him out. The Berardi thing, fair enough. I'll give him credit for that. They did it quite swiftly, quite smoothly, and I don't think Jason Wilcox, to be fair to him, from what I know about the guy, I think he's
Tom, what do you think about the argument? Tom, what do you think about the argument? We can't really do anything till the proper CEO gets in the building. He's basically the buck stops with him. He's the CEO. I don't
buy that, to be honest with you, because Jean-Claude Blanc, who's interim CEO, has got enough football brain and enough experience in the game to know how to run a football club. He's been a general manager at PSG, where you know how they sort of work. He's worked with big brands like Jordan and Nike before, so he can negotiate contracts and sponsorships. You've had the same thing when he worked at Juventus. Juventus at the time, they were fucking broke. He got financing in place to build a new stadium. A broke football club, and he still managed to get some banks to fund him the money to then build Italy and Juventus a new stadium. That takes something. You've got something there in the guy. And that's why a lot of us, before this Berardi thing even came out, we all thought that Jean-Claude Blanc was just going to slot in there. That's what everybody's theory was.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's there, I don't buy this narrative of that he's not going to be able to do a good job in the short term. He's done the role bigger and better at other football clubs where they're trying, like, for example, we're looking at building a new stadium now. So put him in an interim role. Right, he knows what he's doing there. He's already done it. He's completed a fucking project somewhere else. PSG, he's worked with sponsorship deals before. So if you need to work on, a kit design for fucking Adidas and sign it off, you can do that. That's fine. He's done that before with fucking PSG. So this thing that they're doing with Tuchel and all these different managers and everything, to be completely honest with you, clearly they've got an indecision. The thing that I think with Ineos is, I think they want to look at anybody out in the market who's on par or just as good as Eric Ten Hag. And then I think that's the person that they'll end up getting.
Yes.
I don't think they look at De Zerbi and think that he's on par with Ten Hag. because he's not won anything. I don't think they rate Gareth Southgate as much as the British media spin it that they do. And they can't wait till June because the pre-season starts basically as soon as the Euros finishes. Thomas Frank's done fuck all in the game. To be fair, Tuchel was the only manager that I could realistically see replacing Ten Hag because he's done more than him in football. So it would make sense why they would go for somebody like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not here for this fucking Tuchel and all these other managers' bollocks. At the end of the day, they're pissed about for long enough with Ashworth. You know, clearly there's some indecision about the manager situation. If you can't make your minds up, lads, to be completely honest, just keep fucking Ten Hag then. Keep him in and fucking rot for a year. Rot for a year. As much as
I'm not ready for that, man. I've had trauma. I've had trauma with Ten Hag.
Saeed, we've had trauma, mate. I'd rather have Ten Hag at the wheel than fucking Ole Gunnar Southgate, mate. That will give you nightmares. Flashbacks, even, Saeed.
To be fair, I think, I'm not going to lie to you, I think a lot of the British media are trolling us. They're trying to scaremonger us with Southgate. I just don't know and
exactly.
see where Omar Barada is the CEO, he's going to pick Southgate. I just don't see it.
I don't see it. And the thing, Nuruddin, even in saying that, that's why I believe, anyway, when it comes to when Barada comes in position, he's going to have a say in it. You're not going to take a job and basically your first big decision, which is, do we keep the manager or do we not? You're not going to have a say in that. It's not going to happen. The thing that I look at it with Barada is the way that they recruited Pep, where it was like they bought players before he was even there and certain things like that. That's why I didn't think the Tuchel thing, if he did come, I could see why it would maybe work in the short term because the manager that they ideally want isn't available. That's the thing that I think they're looking at right now. I just don't think the manager that they want in football is available. I don't know who the fuck it is. I don't know where they are or what quality it is. But the facts of the matters are, the managers that are out there right now, the only one that I could say is a highlight, but he's never going to come to this league. He didn't come as a player, and he's not going to come as a manager. He fucking speaks Espanol and not fucking English, and that's Zidane. That's the only manager that I could ideally say he could walk in tomorrow and he's done more than Ten Hag in football. That's it. Tuchel's not an option anymore. De Zerbi, apart from what he's done at Brighton, he's not won anything. That's what people will throw against him. Pochettino's a fucking bottler. Again,
he bottled the soccer aid last night.
This is where we go. At the end of the day,
you know.
This whole PR.
Lampard got his number. Lampard and Harry Redknapp got in their number, mate.
This whole PR thing that Ineos have put out there, really, about, this structural changes and everything like that. Clearly, there's an indecision about it all. I don't think, like you say, Nuruddin, I can't see someone like Omar Barada with the networking that he's done at Manchester City, look at someone like Southgate and say that he'd be good enough for City. If he's not good enough for Manchester City when he was there and he had a leading role in that club, he's not going to be good enough for Man United. The only one, arguably, like I say, out of all the names that were linked, that made sense because he'd done more in football was Thomas Tuchel. That was the only one that made sense.
Yeah.
I didn't want him. I personally didn't want him. But the problem that you have is the top three coaches, like I said before on my friend's stream the other day, the top three coaches in the world, you're not touching them for two years, 18 months, 2 years. Pep, Klopp, and Carlo Ancelotti. So you're fucked either way. So you're going to have to take a risk on somebody. And that's why I think, coming back to it all anyway, I would fucking laugh if Erik ten Hag, when he walked in today, say, "Oh, you had a fucking bottomless brunch with Thomas Tuchel over in Monaco." Nah, mate, fuck you, I'm going.
That's a bottomless brunch.
Nah, he's not saying no to 10 million, Tom. That's why we always say Ollie should what. But anyway, big up. Let me just get a super chat quickly. He said, Tuchel false flag. Man's tried to force Ineos' hand. True. The man did that. So for me, I did not want him at Manchester United, but I'll go side in a minute. But welcome to our brother Jarvis. He's
Come
about,
on, Jarvis.
You know what I mean? Listen,
it's
about me, man like Rick Astley. Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you down. Big up Jarvis. Manchester weather, it stinks. It absolutely feels like at the end of February. It's quite cold at times. Sunshine goes in. What's the weather like Let's do a weather report on United Real Television. What's the weather like in Northern Norway?
The sun is shining and the weather is sweet. Yeah, you know.
There you go. Bob Marley's in the building.
Pretty. Yeah.
There you go. There you
Can't
go.
complain. Can't
Yeah,
complain.
yeah.
So we know now Tuchel is out the window. Are you relieved? I'm relieved. Tuchel was twerking a bit too much for me. I'm relieved that he's no longer in the building.
Yeah.
Well,
What do
I
you
have to
think?
say, when it comes to this manager debate, who will come in, who will be next, it's always about names and about, I would say a little bit the ego. But for me, I think I'm more interested in what type of style and tactics the new manager will bring in. For me, that's the most important thing. And out of all these options, not counting Ten Hag, I would say De Zerbi is the one I would like because of his style. And when you see, for example, Liverpool bringing in Arne Slot, no one heard about him before, but he came in because of his style of play. And the same now you see the new Brighton manager, Fabian Hursler, 31 years old, comes from Bundesliga. I think it was St. Pauli, bringing in, Brighton has been keeping him on the block for at least 1 year or 2 years now. So they knew exactly who to bring in when De Zerbi left. And this is how a well-run club do it. They know exactly who you want based on style. And the problem is now we are waffling. We are looking at Tuchel. We are looking at Southgate. We are looking at De Zerbi.
It's been alleged, according to reports.
Yes.
To reports.
Well, I would say I think the Southgate approach is real. Because if you follow the Mufcplayers and Philip De Bruyne or Philip Brown,
basically, the Mufcplayers, I'm onto the Mufcplayers, Jarvis.
Yeah.
Mufcplayers are a club. They are a club plant. That guy's a plant from the club, by the way.
But he put out the tweet yesterday that he have players or people he trusts that he's telling him that Ineos wants Southgate. So for me, that's a big clue. And I think for real, they are considering Southgate.
Do you think? Listen, deep down, do you think everything you know about Omar Barada? Because I know you're a research person. Jarvis. Deep down, do you think Omar Barada is thinking, "Get me Southgate"? Tell the truth. Does it make sense?
I wouldn't think so. Yeah, but the thing is, I think Southgate is Ashworth's guy. And Omar Barada,
Omar Barada is the CEO.
Yeah, but
who knows about football.
Read the papers on Barada. He's a financial guy.
No,
he's the guy
also
who put
football and business together.
Yes, football and business. He's not a footballing guy.
He's had more footballing involvement in terms of where to go, the negotiations to do. He speaks about how the club moves.
Yeah, but he speaks on the financial part. He spoke with Trixie Bergestan at Manchester City. Trixie Bergestan is the guy who knows.
Director of football. Yeah.
So this is the thing. And we think we have brought in Trixie, but we have brought in
no,
Omar.
We haven't. No, 100%.
And Omar is the financial guy. So this is the problem with Omar Barada. I like him.
But it's been across the football. The finance of football follow together, Jarvis. But it's been across the football as well. What you've seen on the football pitch matters to 100%. How much money you're bringing in. So you're bringing in Southgate. People are going to be throwing their season tickets on the pitch. They're not accepting it.
Bro, Nuruddin, I told you, man, you're going to have to get... But even now, United, bro, you can't even give your season tickets now. I can't even give my tickets away now, You see what they've done with the new ticket system? It's on the app now, Nuruddin. And if you want to sell it to someone else or whatever, you're taking £10 off. So it's... Bro, they've messed everything up, man. Everyone's fuming. Everyone's angry. You know what I mean?
It's a financial fucking backup for it all. But as much as what Jarvis said
to finish. 1 second, Dom. I want Jarvis to finish his point. Go ahead, Jarvis.
No, the point is I just want the manager with the right style. The style I would like. I'm into tactics. I'm into to how we play football, and I would like us to play modern football, attacking football. I would like us to play with the ball to feet. I would like us to play possession based. I would like us to play with the attacking and score a lot of goals, as we all do. But I don't want to play with Southgate playing 5-4-1 formation and sitting back and waiting for the opposition to attack and counter. That's a horrible tactic, and it's like.
Well, what we've been doing, Jarvis.
Yeah.
I've had that for the past 12 years. 11
Yeah, but
years.
it's
Other
not the
than
way
Van
forward.
Gaal era.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But for me, I think we all agree De Zerbi is the guy when it comes to tactics and how to set up the team. I think Tuchel is a little bit in between. Southgate is the worst off out of all of them.
Worst off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody wants Southgate. And the only thing I can think of, the good thing with bringing in Southgate is maybe we will get relegated and then the Glazers are forced to sell. That's the only positive I can think of.
He's got the CV for it. Fucking Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
Hey, maybe Southgate's the guy. Somebody said to me, Nuruddin, right? I've got this friend, yeah. He's a funny guy, and he keeps saying to me, Nuruddin, all of a sudden, for the first time in his England managerial career, Southgate has basically gone full on attack by picking a very attacking, dropping big players, big names. He's doing his rehearsal for Manchester United job. So I just want to go to you, Saeed, before I go to Tom. Are you sad or gutted that Tuchel is out of the running for Manchester United job? And also, could you react to this breaking news from our friend Robbie L. Dawson?
Oh, Rob Dawson, man. The one that said Ollie to Besiktas was done, by the way. I don't know, man. Everyone's got their own kind of twist on it, man. Nobody knows really, does it?
But in terms of, like, he's saying that incoming director Dan Ashworth wants a yes manager rather than someone to challenge the recruitment department over to make up for the squad. I mean, majority of directors, because they directors of football or sporting directors have more power. They hire and fire managers. Of course, you're gonna have a person that you see the same thing with Saeed. But in terms of Tuchel, are you got it? You like Tuchel? That's the you think he would have done a decent job at Manchester United?
Jarvis and me.
No, you.
Okay, yeah. For me, you know what it is, yeah, Nordin, yeah. My thing is, yeah, I don't mind Tuchel, but I didn't want him to be the first choice. You know what I mean? That was always my rhetoric. I was like, yo, if we could get Tuchel as the only choice, I think it's an upgrade on Ten Hag. I really do, because at the end of the day, tactically as well, I don't think we're going to be as open. I don't think we're going to get beat by teams convincingly. Will we be a bit more attacking? Probably not. But in the sense of actual a team and the way we're set up, I think for me it would have been a struggle. But when I look at the manager Tuchel right now, I think he's been begging a lot. He's been obviously, wanting a job. He's not a manager that really has a sabbatical or has a rest. When you look at his job to job, he's literally gone from like Dortmund to PSG to Chelsea to Bayern Munich, like literally, like it's been quick. It's been very, very quick, man. So
yeah,
I look at the way he is. I think he's ultimately said, yo, listen, we don't see eye to eye. Our kind of the way we're thinking about going and the way you're thinking about going, it's not the same, and ultimately we're gonna keep it as that, bro. So, you know what I mean? I think for me, the manager, Tuchel was an idea. It was something that we were looking at, but right now there's other candidates that are available. I think there's other names that we haven't even maybe spoken about that maybe you will see in the next coming days. I really do. I think there's some names that have not been mentioned. You know what I mean? I think the obvious candidates have been Tuchel, De Zerbi, Amorim, you know what I mean? But yeah, there you go. Amorim never been talking about. There's the actual guy from Stuttgart. Nobody's talked about him. There was some weird link to the Dortmund manager, but obviously I don't know if there's any truth in that. So there's some names that we don't know about, but at the same time, they're gonna do things in their way. By the end of it, if Ten Hag's gone and they've got De Zerbi, I think everybody can be like, "Oh man, what was that? What was that all about, man?" You know what I mean, and whatnot. It can all be forgotten about. Right now,
big up Rants.
Yeah, big up Rants here. Right now, as it stands, it looks
big up
bad.
Rants.
Yeah, it looks bad, Nordin. I understand that. It looks very, very bad. But at the same time, man, I just think for me, I'd rather wait for the right decision, man, than rush to the wrong decision.
Listen, I don't mind looking bad for short term. If the long term, if they get the guy that they want,
right?
The coach that they want, and the coach that they want to back. To me, the other thing is that they have to trigger Eric Ten Hag's year optional. You got to give him 3 years, and Manchester United always give you 1 year optional. They would have to trigger that for him to stay because players are not listening to him. Players are not listening to him.
Yeah.
Duran said they said the same thing about Chelsea, the yes man team. But listen, at the end of the day, people don't understand that. Director of football, you are the boss of the coach. The coach does what you work together. They follow direction. People don't understand. And then if you fail, if the coach fails, then the director of football's head is on the chopping block.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But Nuruddin, what's a yes man? What do you mean when you say a yes man? Or Saeed?
What they mean is that nobody that's going to go along with what the director of football says. That's what
if you're working in a structure, you need a yes man in a way. 100%. You need someone who will cooperate with the club. And that's the thing, because maybe Ten Hag has been given too much power when it comes to transfers, when it comes to how the youth should be set up, how the style of the club should be, all of this. And this maybe be the problem for now. They're just looking elsewhere, and they want to retract the power of Ten Hag. And maybe this is not the results because he won the FA Cup. And when you think of it, maybe it's just the power of Ten Hag because they want everybody to fall in line and go with the structure.
You know what's bad? I think that's true. You know, when you look at the idea of a yes man, it may sound very, very bad, but ultimately you have to align the vision with the Ineos. You know, especially now.
Yeah. And listen, at the end of the day, majority of coaches. That's what I'm saying to you. The model is moving from managers to coaches. Coaches who just come in, they've got their permit. The style of play is told what style of play. The club chooses that. They choose some of the players, and you're there to coach the players.
And exactly. And now they've got Joe Wilcox now as well. They've got him as well. Like that will be on Ten Hag's case, and that's something that maybe Ten Hag might not have wanted. A guy who's just basically on his case, because he didn't want that with Rangnick, did he? Rangnick came in and said, "Yo, listen, I want to be here and help you out." Ten Hag said, "Yo, I don't need you, bro." And obviously, it was then mutually agreed that we didn't really need him. So. Listen, Ten Hag don't really like. He might say it in public, yo, this and that, but ultimately Ten Hag's his own man. But that's why they brought him in, to be overseeing everything, the style, possession-based football. And if you're not that person, then you're not that person. You know what I mean? You can't force Ten Hag to be a possession-based manager, because when people said, "Oh, he played possession-based against Burnley and all of that," I said, "Bro, man, like, allow it, man. He didn't really play possession-based. Let's be honest. Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, man?"
Listen, I want to quickly ask you. I've heard reports, and this is the last topic, I think, of our thing. I think we've talked about Ineos enough. I think there's some confusion going on, but like I said, I'm happy to wait for when they decide who their person is. You know what I mean? And I've always kept it the same. I think with 27%, when Joe Glazer's in the picture and he's the major shareholder, you're always going to be answering to him. So there's a bit of confused FC going on. But I just want to go quickly. This is my point of view. I heard reports that Manchester United might not sign. I understand that, but I think Manchester United need to let players go. But Manchester United crucial for signings. So let's see if we differ.
Yeah.
Right? Let's go around if we differ. I think Manchester United need a centre half, right-sided centre half, and a left-sided centre half. But I'll take one for now. Maybe one, away for now.
We need more, but
Manchester United need a midfield player, whether it's Amrabat or somebody better if we can get. And Manchester United need a left-back, because I'm not waiting for Luke Shaw and Taran Malacia for their injuries to get better. And Manchester United need a striker. So they're the 4 key positions for me. I'll go to you, Jarvis, and we'll go Tom and Saeed. Quickly.
I think you.
Do you agree or disagree?
I agree with the 2 center backs, 1 DM and 1 left back. When it comes to the striker, it doesn't necessarily needs to be an out and out striker. It could be a forward, versatile forward, as we have seen. We've been linked to this Crystal Palace guy, and he can play both right, left, and center. So it don't necessarily need to be a striker, but a out and out forward. And when you saw our last 4 games of the season, we actually didn't play with a striker. We played with a false 9. So it's more about versatility and rotation in the forward roles. So if Ten Hag or the next manager choose to keep that going. We don't need another striker,
Yep.
and at least we have this. What's the name of this young guy coming up? This striker from the academy,
Oh, I
He's
forgot
been
his name.
with
Wheatley, coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he
Yeah,
can
Wheatley,
play like a second fiddle for Højlund if needed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Facts.
Go ahead, Saeed.
Yeah, I think for me, I think you're right, man. But ultimately, I keep saying it, man. Like the priority for me has always been midfield, man. I always say to myself, get that midfield sorted out, man, because that's where the bread and butter of the team is. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, get rid of the players that we've got in there. McTominay, I think Amrabat. Unless you get two midfielders in, I'm not really keen on Amrabat. Who else is there? There's a couple others that I'm looking at, but I just think for me, like, yeah, well, Mason Mount, I think he's going to stay, to be honest with you. But there's certain players I'm like, yo, we have to get rid of. We have to get rid of. But ultimately, midfield, get that sorted out midfield. Because once you sort the midfield out, I think then everything kind of works together in conjunction. But you know, I mean, centre back situation, get a strong centre back in there. You know, but if you could go and get me prioritize midfield at midfield, you know, I'll be more than happy.
So you think midfield over left back? I think we need a centre half. I genuinely think we need a centre half.
I think you can play Dalot
and a left back.
You can promote maybe a right back from the academy. I don't know who's around and whatnot, but you can play Kabwala a right back as well if you need to. I think midfield, though, man, it's so crucial, man, because that's where I think Casemiro's going to leave, man. I've got this feeling he's going to leave. You know what I mean? So we need to really, really strengthen that. You know what I mean? In that regards, man, we really do. It's crucial area.
The only bit, and I love to come to Tom, but the only bit I disagree. I actually think we need somebody to hold up the ball. I disagree with Jarvis and maybe Saeed that Manchester United need to have somebody to play down the middle, to hold up the ball, to be able to link the play. We need a player like that.
Yeah, but it depends what type of style we want to play. As I said, in the last 4 games, we played with a false 9. So the thing is, it depends what we want to do going forward. It's not use. There's no use bringing in a second striker if you're not going to play with one. You know,
that's true as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Go ahead, Tom.
I just want to say, when it comes to midfielders, we have been linked to this young Portuguese kid, João Neves. He's a number 6 who can play as a number 8.
A lot of money.
It's not happening, Jarvis.
If you can get like 70 million for Casemiro and Michel Eriksen, it will be like 500k a week off the wage bill, and we will have 70 million for transfers. So it could be possible if we can do that.
I'll be shocked if that happens.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's already made deals. He's on his way when Madrid retires from Real Madrid. He's already on his way there.
You know what he says?
That's what I'm hearing, Real Madrid are not messing about. Tapped him up already.
Wow.
Another year in Benfica. Unless Benfica won the money now. You know what I mean?
Wow. Nah, listen, man. I don't believe we're actually after him, man. I just think it's my man. What's his name again? That guy? The agent, the super agent, Jorge Mendes.
Yeah,
He's the one that's pushing it, man. He loves pushing this out to United first and then going from there, and then you know what I mean.
Saeed. We've been here fucking years, haven't we, fella? We had it man. Years ago, we offered Mendy when he was a decent defender in Portugal. He went to City.
Man.
João Felix was supposed to come here.
João Felix, everyone.
He went to Atletico Madrid. The only one that he actually really pushed at Man United and we took a shot on was Mourinho. Well, when Mourinho wanted Lindelof, and that's the only one that we ever bought. And arguably, out of a lot of those, I think we bought probably the fucking worst one out of all of them.
Yeah,
to be completely honest. Listen, the Portuguese league, I think it's very hit and miss.
It's hit and miss, man.
It's
like hit and miss.
It's like the Dutch league.
Yeah, it's the Dutch league.
It's like what we've done in the Dutch league, where you have put Anthony in Portugal. He'd probably do what he did in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
he probably would, because there's not that pressure. There's not a lot of intensity in the league. There's not, superstars that you play week in, week out. There's not that competitiveness. But
big up, guys. Yeah,
big up.
Make sure you like the video, people, man. Already, we'll catch up. Yeah, love, man. Them.
Love. Big up.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying, Nuruddin. For me, I think I would focus predominantly on the spine of the team. I would. I'd go. I'd agree with you that we need a centre half desperately. We've bleeded injuries at the back for fucking hell. I don't know how long. Fullbacks, he might give Harry Armas maybe a season to integrate with the team and give him a couple of games, maybe. You know, I don't know if he likes the kid or not. Same, you know, if you go for Amrabat or whatever. Personally, I don't think they will. I think they'll look at Mason Mount and think, well, he didn't really play that much last season anyway. So I think they'll almost look at him as like he's going to be a new signing. So you're going to have another midfielder available for the year if he can keep him fully fit. I think they will replace Casemiro with a DM. I don't know who the fuck they'll go and get. I really don't. I've made my feelings and opinions to Jarvis when we've done Jarvis's corner many times. I wouldn't give a shit if we recruited some young 18-year-old from South America that, do you know what, has a bit about them, and they've got something to prove. They want to be a superstar. They've got something to prove coming to Man United. That's what I want. I want players like that. The thing that I heard with Elise is he's a grounded kid. He's a good kid. He's a player that's not motivated by money. He understands that he is a top player. But he believes that he will be an even better player when he takes that next step up to another club. And from there, when he proves it at that big football club, he'll get a big contract. That's what happens with all these players. Salah has one good, 3-4 year contract at Liverpool. He earns the big money. But the problem with me is, guys, we've always had these players that have a bit of a highlight season in the Premier League. And we never fucking take a risk on them. We don't. We really don't. We had it a couple of years ago with Southampton where there was, 3 or 4 good players that came out of that Southampton team. Van Dijk, Mane, Schneiderlin was another one. I know we ended up taking a hit on him anyway. But there was a good couple of players in that squad. Lallana was another one. There was a good couple of players in that squad, but half of them we didn't even touch with a barge pole. And at the end of the day with us, the thing that I agree with Saeed is we've tried so many new defenders for so long and it's not working. Attackers, Man United are always going to have top forwards, whether it be in the youth ranks who can bang goals or we'll sign players that can score goals. We're always going to have players that can score goals. It's just about if they hit the right form and they get the chances. Hoyland this year, he's had no service. No fucking service, but he's still got 10 digits. I'm shocked that he did, but I'm proud of him that he did. And at the end of the day, the one thing that's always been a constant... Yeah, the one thing that's always been a constant though with me, guys, is midfield we have been fucking pinged about for years. We have. Moyes, I fucking hated it. We got ran through midfield. Mourinho even, when we had Matic was static. He's not a mobile player. He's like Casemiro now. We had that with Mourinho. Even when Oli came in, he got rid of Fellaini. He put Matic in there. Same scenario. He put McTominay in there now. That if we're going towards Oli's tenure at the club, McTominay's not a DM. He can't direct traffic. He can't bully players. He doesn't mark players well. He doesn't track. He doesn't read the game. That's his faults. To be a DM, you need all of them. And especially in the Premier League, if you're going to be a top DM, you need a lot of those qualities that I've just said. And he has 0 of them. His best work is up the pitch. That's where McTominay's best work is. And like I say, now you're into Casemiro now, who, with the way that we've played this season, guys, we've exposed the guy. We've rinsed in no Vaseline. That's the way that we've done the guy. We've done the guy dirty. We really have. He doesn't owe Manchester United fuck all. I don't think he owes Erik Ten Hag a lot, to be honest with you. He's not really giving much support in midfield. Listen, Casemiro's an experienced player and he reads the game well. He's gonna know that he needs help. And if and he will have told Erik Ten Hag that I'm getting run through here. I need some help. I need some support here. And they've done nothing all season to help him. Nothing. Yeah, and true. I've seen toward the back end of the season, for those 5 games, guys, that they could have done something for him. Play compact so he doesn't have the spaces to cover. It can be done. I've seen it. I've seen Amrabat and Mainu cover the spaces. Yeah. So you're telling me Amrabat next to Casemiro couldn't cover the spaces? Or Mainu next to him? It couldn't be done. But again, guys, I look at all these players that we're getting there. Even like you just said that, Jarvis, about João Neves. He's a young kid. He's not going to come to Man United from Portugal and take that much of a risk on a club that right now is a PR saga. We don't know who the manager's going to be. We don't really know what sort of finances we've got to play with anyway in terms of recruiting. We've not even got a director of football in place right now. We've got all these people who are interim acting sort of roles. where are we going as a club? We're not going anywhere.
Hmm.
We aren't going anywhere. We've got people who've got good CVs in this club, but they're working in roles that they're not best suited to. Dave Brailsford is a performance guy. He's acting director of football, acting auditor. I don't know. He's probably on the fucking building site when they build the new stadium.
Yeah, big
Like,
up. It's gonna be funny, Tom.
I don't understand. Like I say, where we're going to go with this new structure until they get the right people in place. But
for me, the biggest thing is simple. The most important thing is simple. When you employ people, if you don't empower them to do their jobs, then you might as well not have. So what's the point of getting people who are really good at their jobs, who got amazing potential, and then you don't empower them to do their job because you are interfering too much. So at the end of the day, we will know. But big up ZZ, Mr. Structure. If United get De Zerbi and we still see no improvement, then who's the bigger catfish, De Zerbi or Ten Hag? Well, for me, Ten Hag will always be the biggest catfish. But I guarantee you with De Zerbi, you will see an improvement in the style of play. The results might not be amazing, but you'll see an improvement in the way we play because that's the type of manager he is. Big up, Tom. Make sure you go and check out Tom Journalist One on Twitter. Jarvis, how you doing? Everything good? Kids well?
Work good? Yeah. I've been good. Busy week, always working, but now
enjoying the sunshine. I can see on your forearms. You got a bit of a tan.
Yeah. The sunshine, the summer is finally here up in the north. So I can't complain. I was actually when we spoke about DMs, what Ten Hag could have done when Tom was talking. It made me think of the Liverpool game away, the 0-0 game when Amrabat played. I think he played the full 90 minutes, and actually that was the moment I think where Ten Hag should have realized that playing Amrabat in the double pivot would have worked for the rest of the season. So maybe he should have just pulled the emergency brake and jocked in Amrabat for the rest of the season and salvage at least a top 5 position.
Yeah, 100% for me. Amrabat was played way too late, and he's the player that he wanted. So it just shows me that Ten Hag's been confused FC. And that's why, for me, I don't trust him. He's lost my trust. He's lost it. And when a manager loses your trust, it's very difficult for it to get back. But people, we could be here all day and night. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, what would it take for you to trust Ten Hag again? Or for him to come good?
It would take for him to completely do 360-degree turn in terms of coaching the squad, not telling me that the players have to play together in the first team for them to know how to pass to each other where they are on the football pitch. He would have to rotate heavily. He would have to get his substitutions right and his in-game management right. He would have to try to play attacking style of play. And he would not have to just come out gaslighting us all of the time. I need to see patterns. I need to see the players that you bought, the players you bought to this. You said Anthony was very crucial to the way you want to play. Martinez, I'm not just blaming when the centre-halves are injured. No, you can still keep the ball and play. And for me, the biggest reason why he lost my trust is the gaps. There was too many gaps. We played worse than a Sunday and Saturday league team, Jarvis. And people were telling me, you don't know more than a manager. Well, I know football, and I know that throughout football, the best teams stay compact. They attack together, they defend together, they get the ball back together. They don't just do it by different. You do it, I do it. No, they play as a team. And we waited till the fast something games to play as a team, which is not something that I liked.
Yeah, I think for me, Nuruddin, if Ten Hag will come good, let's say if he stays, I think we need to do something with the coaching staff, and we need to bring in more of his coaches. As we saw now, Benny McCarthy is out the door. He's not continuing as an attacking coach. And I think, as we spoke about this survey, when he left, now he have 7 Italian coaches with him. Nutrition specialists, like specialists in stretching and physicality.
You start, Jarvis. Sorry, drop.
The survey. He had 7 coaches with him. 7 Italian coaches with him from his time in Sassuolo and in Shakhtar, and like a team working together. Ten Hag brought with him Van de Gaag. and he brought McLaren like as the United guy.
And then he got a guy, an analyst, Japanese analyst.
Yeah,
and
the
then
analyst
and then
team
they
is
had
good.
then we got Benny McCarthy a couple of months later, or however long it is. Yeah.
But I think if we're going to keep Ten Hag, we need to back Ten Hag. That's the only way. If we continue like this with just a couple of coaches, we won't see any significant improvement in the team. I think we need more of his coaches and more of players who know his type
I said
of
that
football.
from the first beginning, from day dot. I said that we've still got coaches from Jose. We got coaches from Oli. You know, a lot of people. So
Mourinho.
Mourinho. I said it at the time. Yeah. I said it at the time. But Jarvis, big up to you. Love and light. Appreciate all the chat people. We're demonetized. We are shadow banned because we shout against the genocide and we stand with people who are oppressed around the world, but we don't give two Fs. So big up to every one of you. Make sure you check out Jarvis Corner tonight at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Make sure you check him out there. And big up to everybody watching. Big up everybody who commented. And this is the only bit. This is the last bit here before we get into it. Why would Manchester United play their hands? So that's for the first time ever, I'm questioning Simon Stone. Because the BBC, they have to counter check. They can't just print anything. Manchester United have put 40 million price tag on Jadon Sancho. United would look to sell Sancho this no matter what the manager is. I mean, why would they put a specific price on him? Would be 30 million loss. Why would they say that before they start negotiating, Jarvis?
I don't know why they do it. It doesn't make sense in a way. You shouldn't put a price unless you have people who are interested and asking for a price. But maybe there are other clubs coming in and just want to know they're interested, but they don't want to know what they're dealing with. But
I smell bullshit, Jarvis. I really smell bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
No club would put a price tag on somebody unless he's got a buyout clause.
You think he has a buyout clause?
No, that's what. Unless he has a buyout clause, and nobody's told us that he's got a buyout clause. So I just find it fascinating that they've said this. It's shocking to me. But yeah, I don't believe the story. I think Simon Stone wants to become the new Fabrizio. I think he wants to get out there, and I think he has to come out with a bang for the summer football transfer chat. And I think this is a waffle because I don't think, regardless whatever the price is, the club that's selling has, they never put it out there until you start negotiating.
But Simon Stone, to be fair to him, he was actually quite good when it comes to British players 3 to 4 years ago. All the Maguire saga and everything, he was spot on when it came to that. So he has his connections, but I'm not sure if it comes to... But Fabrizio, he reported also the same, that there are other clubs keen on signing Sancho, not only Borussia Dortmund, and the price remained available for 40 million initial price tag. So it could happen.
I totally understand that, Jarvis.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. I don't know what this is. I don't know who's Gordon Hill.
I don't know him.
I don't know who Gordon Hill is. Let me just have a look who Gordon Hill is.
Benny Hill. Gordon Hill.
Oh, yeah, he played for Manchester United. Yeah, he's an ex-player. That's it. He played for Manchester United, Gordon Hill. I remember him now. Big up.
Okay. Must have been in the 70s.
So, he's Gordon Hill is a technical advisor, director of clubs the USA and international player development. Big up Gordon Hill. So he's saying we should go back to having the lads. But big up Deco. Long time no see. Big up Hector. Big up everybody. Enjoy. And then we'll be back with some more transfer, what we think Manchester United need. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about Tuchel. Let us know what's going on with Ineos and the confusion. Let us know about, do you agree or disagree with me? Or Manchester United need to sign 4 players this summer? Well, we need to let go, but we need to defender, centre half, a centre midfield player, a left back, and a striker. Let me know what you think, people is. We always say win, lose, or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. And we always say free Palestine, stop the genocide, end apartheid. And we say free the Congo, free Sudan, free Tigray, free Ogaden as well while we're there, people. And yeah, let's find out who's going for that. And also, tell us more about the racist media. I really want to know. Putting Saka and blaming Kobe Menu for the loss against Iceland, which was shocking. But that's what we expect, people. Get in the comments, people. I want to hear what I want to interact with you on there. Jarvis Corner at 9 o'clock. Bowley 77. Make sure you check out Jarvis. Make sure you check out Tom Journalist 1 on Twitter. Jarvis Bowley, a Bowley BOLE 77, and Jarvis Corner tonight at 9 o'clock. Make sure you check out Saeed TV 286, I think, podcast we did. Got heated there. Saeed got there's a little. We told a little story about Saeed, so go and check. I have to watch it to find out. Jarvis already knows because he was in the chat. But yeah, go and check that out. And big up Musa as well, our brother. And big up me in the football as well. Love, light, people, look after yourselves. Free fucking Palestine from the river to the fucking sea. Peace. We're out. Good night. Nice one.